What's going on, everyone? So, a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer is in the works. And according to Sarah Michelle Gellar, one, she's going to be in the film. Two, it's actually moving along faster than she even anticipated and she expected, which the whole process is, I just think, is kind of funny, right? It was like nothing. And then somebody just like randomly asked her about, like, hey, would you ever do a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I mean, to be fair, I guess it wasn't random. It's because Freddie Prinze Jr., her husband, is doing a new I Know What You Did Last Summer. And so it was like, hey, would you, be in that film? And she was like, I'm dead. And they were like, hey, would you do, a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And she was like, yeah, like I'd be interested in it. And then she got asked it like 2 or 3 more times. And she was like, yeah, I mean, if it makes sense and, the answer, like, if it's right type thing. And then fast forward like a week later, and all of a sudden it was like, new Buffy the Vampire Slayer is coming out. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar's like, no, really, they really are. They really want to do this, and they really want to, get this done. And big question has been kind of, what direction are they going to go? Are they doing a hard reset, and it's just going to be a new sort of franchise with story and all that stuff, which I think would be kind of hard if you're going to have Sarah Michelle Gellar in it. It's like, are you going to have like 2 Buffys in it, or is Sarah Michelle Gellar going to be playing a different character, which that might be a little silly. However, we got some new information that has came out, and this is from the Insider and Hulu, which is interesting. Hulu is the one that is going to be doing the new Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but Hulu's Buffy the Vampire Slayer sequel series, touch on that here in a moment, is reportedly centered on a girl named Nova. Nova is expected to be mentored by Buffy Summers. So a couple things. One, I talked about that very thing happening, that if they were going to do it and they were going to do a new series, that's what I thought that they should do. Should do something where it's like, Buffy's daughter, or Buffy is the mentor, kind of move into the mentor role, right? Because how else do you kind of have her in that? So I'm glad that they are going that route, and that's going to be the plan, that she's going to be the mentor. That way you can have her in all the films, and she can be the Giles and do all that stuff and be the one that has all the knowledge and help train, and you can have her in some fight sequences and some fight scenes, and her and Nova can be fighting side by side and doing some cool stuff, and we can get some cool sequences, and it kind of feel like Buffy, right? Because people are going to be there for Sarah Michelle Gellar, right? They got to do right by the legacy characters, whether it's just Sarah Michelle Gellar or if they start bringing other ones in. Apparently Charisma is interested in being in the new Buffy the Vampire Slayer series and all that stuff. So, whoever you bring back, however you approach this, however you want to do this, right? I think you got to do it right, for one, because there is a huge fan base and a huge following, and they are like diehard about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? I, of course, watched the show. Anyone that's, you get people that like try to pretend like they're too cool, like, oh, I never watched. Like, stop, you watched it. We've all watched it, right? I definitely watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm not one of the diehards, though. To be honest, I don't even really quite remember. I remember parts and pieces of like how it ended and all that stuff. But, I've freshened up on it since I started doing these videos, because I was like, hey, I should probably know what I'm talking about. And plus, trust me, every time I even mention something, people make sure to let me know or correct me or anything like that, which is great. I love to see that, right? Because I want to be accurate. I want to know. And like I said, it's been years. I haven't watched that in probably 15 years or whatever it's been, right? So, I want them to do right by it. They got to do right by it. But also, again, the legacy characters are going to be the focus. Like, people are going to want to see Buffy be Buffy. People are going to want to see Sarah Michelle Gellar be Sarah Michelle, or be Buffy, right? Like, if she's just sitting, and just reading books all day, and it's just like, throw a punch like this, and then, you're like, Kia, right? Like, and, people are going to be like, dude, get up, do some stuff. Need you to Buffy this up, right? And that's great. But another big thing, sequel series, which why I pointed that out and made that an emphasis, because that means we now know it's not going to be some, like, oh, this is going to be a reboot and going to restart the franchise. No, this is going to be what appears to be a direct sequel. So you have to essentially pick it up where it left off. So, how are they going to approach it? How is the war? Like, there's a lot that you're going to have to explain and explore, in my opinion. I don't think you can just here's Buffy and it's been all this time. And I think there needs to be you need to be able to smoothly transition that if you get what I'm saying. And then, the new Nova, you got to hit right on that character. Right. Last thing you could do is fumble that character. She's going to be the face, whatever actress that ends up becoming. You got to make sure you get that right again, because the fan base is very on top of it. And, the concern with this type of thing is always are they going to ruin it? Right? Like, because especially Buffy had a pretty, conclusive in a bow type ending, right? Well, now you're picking back up and you're doing all this stuff and you're introducing new characters and you're trying to make the legacy characters make sense and all this. And we've seen this time and time again with these like requels. We're in the world of requels still, and it's been, going on 5+ years now, even longer. But I mean, requels have been around forever, but like, an actual trend right now. And we've seen them more often than not do a terrible job with the legacy characters, from things that immediately pop to mind, like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, the recent Exorcist film. I mean, you can even argue Michael Myers with the Halloween Ends and all that. Like, they more often than not, they flop this thing. So you got to do right by that. And then Hulu's the one that it's going to be on. So, I'm all for it. Sign me up. I'm down to see this. I will watch it. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a fair shake. But like I said, you got to make sure that you do right by this. I don't want to see them half-ass it and just, because there was hype, and like I said, there is a fan base and there is a following, and they're looking at it as like, oh, this could be our moment. This could be the cash grab. I don't want to see that. Right? I mean, everything is to make money. I get it. I'm all for it. Go on, get your bag. But you still got to do right by the franchise. You still got to do right by the characters and the story and the fans and all those things. So they got to make sure that they don't botch this and mess it up. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Are you excited for this? Are you not excited for it? Do you like the idea of Buffy as like the mentor? Do you need to see her, continue to kick butt in the franchise and stuff? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.